And it often is younger members of a family trying to engage older members of a family, or older beloved people who have had influence and kindness to them earlier in their lives, and they feel protective of them and they don't want to be talking about these things, or they feel that, you know, the order of play is being changed, that the generation that once was in charge and in full youth of vigor was looking after this younger person, and now this young person is, as the temerity suggests, that they're going to try and look after me. Who do they think they are? So one of the things that can be really helpful is to ensure that you maintain the relationship in which they are in charge and their wisdom and their experience is valued. So if it's a parent, to go to your parent and say, not, Dad, for heaven's sake, we need to talk about this stuff, but Dad, there's this thing that's really worrying me. And you know, sometimes it wakes me up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep because I am so worried about it. And I just think if I could mull it over with you, even if it was just 10, 15 minutes or so, I would feel a lot better. Oh, well, of course, you poor thing. What is it? Well, the thing is, Dad, I'm really concerned that I know you don't really like talking about your health, but if something happened and you weren't able to speak for yourself, you know that I'm the person that the doctors and nurses are going to ask about what you want. And I'm just really worried that I might say the wrong thing because I just don't know. And if you could just give me some guidelines, if we could just spend 15 minutes talking about that, I don't think we need to talk about it anymore, but at least I'll know roughly what the territory is if that ever happens. What do you think? You know, sometime over the next couple of weeks, do you think we could do that? And now you're asking him to be Dad. And it changes the dynamic. And I know this works because so many people have told me that this works for them. But sometimes what Dad says is, I absolutely trust whatever you decide to be the right thing. And that is actually permission for you to say, okay, Dad, I'm just going to ask you one more question. And the question is, of all of the things that are important to you in your life, what are the 3 things that matter most? And it's your mum, it's the garden, it's my faith, it's the grandchildren, it's what happens to the house, it's that you never put me in a care home, whatever it is. And once you know those 3 things, you've got what you need. Because now, when you're being that person's substitute decision maker, you haven't got to make the decision up on your own. There's going to be a whole medical team saying, okay, so this is what's wrong with your father, and these are the different treatment options available. And you're able to say, well, the things that matter most to him are my mum and the garden and his faith. How do they apply? Well, okay. Doctors and nurses can help you now to think through how those things will apply. And that's okay. He doesn't have to decide about a ventilator or CPR because he didn't want to talk about that. But you know what matters.